Okay, let's dig in. There's just so much information flying around. It's hard to keep up.
Totally. Sometimes you just need that focused look.
Exactly.
Right.
So that's what we're doing. We've gone through the sources you provided, and we're zeroing in on one person, software engineer Richard Banasiak.
Right. And the idea isn't just like a list of facts. We want to pull out the really key stuff from the sources: career, skills, projects, even his philosophy.
And straight away, there's a bit of a wrinkle, isn't there? The sources mention, well, a few Richard Banasiaks.
Yeah, that's right. There's one in public safety and academic.
Mm-hmm.
It's important to be clear.
So who are we focusing on?
The sources point specifically to the software engineer, the one linked to Banasiak.com. That's our guy.
Got it. Okay,
Yeah.
so this Richard Banasiak, what's the core profile say?
Well, first thing is experience, like over 20 years.
Wow.
Yeah, in mobile, enterprise software, network security. That's significant time.
2 decades in tech is definitely significant. And the sources mention a motivation? Something about end users.
Mm-hmm. Using tech to positively influence the lives of end users. That seems pretty fundamental to his approach.
Okay.
And he's described as, involved all the way through, from the initial idea to the whole design and build.
So hands-on.
Very. And getting it done on time and within budget, reliable delivery seems key.
Right. Beyond that core stuff, what about like specific technologies?
Oh, yeah. The sources mention some really cutting-edge areas he's involved with. Things like AR, augmented reality,
Right.
voice control, wearables, beacon tech, even IoT connectivity, linking everyday objects.
So all areas that are kind of changing how we interact with tech.
Exactly. And that ties into something else that the sources mentioned, this unique problem-solving angle.
Oh.
Yeah, apparently he aims for, and this is a quote, creative solutions that would make his childhood idol MacGyver proud.
MacGyver.
Yeah.
Seriously, that's actually pretty cool.
It is, right. It suggests, resourcefulness, maybe finding clever fixes, not just the standard way.
I like that. It adds a bit of personality. Okay, so where does this MacGyver-style developer show up online? The sources mention his website, banasiak.com.
Yeah, that's like the main hub. And from there, you find his blog, which has a memorable name.
Which is?
Cesspool of Knowledge.
Okay. That definitely gets your attention. What's on there?
All sorts of tech stuff. But lately, he's been diving into AI models. Gemini, Claude Opus, Grok.
Ah, the big ones.
Yeah, but it's not just like dry technical breakdowns. The sources say he has a critical or humorous tone, uses words like shenanigans.
Huh? Okay.
And he writes about AI's impact, too, things like AI content slop. But interestingly, he also mentions he uses AI tools for the blog itself.
Oh, that's telling. So he's not just critiquing, he's actually using it, warts and all.
Exactly, engaging with it practically.
Oh, blog's interesting. What else? Sources mention code sharing, GitHub, apps.
Open source projects on GitHub. One example is CoinFlip 2. What's neat is he rewrote it using modern Android standards, Kotlin, that kind of thing.
Shows dedication to craft, keeping skills sharp.
Totally. And then there are Android apps, like Simple URL Sanitizer.
And there was something important about those apps, wasn't there? Privacy.
Yes, huge emphasis on privacy. This really stands out in the sources. His apps explicitly state no user data collected.
None. That's rare these days.
It really is. And that Simple URL Sanitizer description, it says something like, sometimes you just want to share a link without being canceled by association.
Wow. That's quite a statement. Connects the tech directly to, well, real-world concerns.
Absolutely. It feels like it ties his maybe security background directly into how he builds things for regular users. Privacy first.
Okay, so let's pull this all together. We've got the deep experience, the sort of MacGyver creativity, the blog where he's thinking out loud, the open source work, and this really strong privacy focus. What's the overall picture?
I think the sources paint him as more than just an engineer. Maybe like an artisan developer, someone who combines the technical skill with innovation, practicality, and these clear values about privacy and transparency.
Right, committed to learning, bridging complex tech, and, everyday understanding.
Yeah, he's not just coding. There's an ethos there.
So for you listening, what's the takeaway here? Well, this profile shows one path in a long tech career, right? The need to keep learning, definitely, but also how individual developers can, make conscious choices.
Choices about being open, sharing knowledge, and crucially, protecting user privacy in the things they build.
Which leads to maybe a final thought to chew on. How does this kind of artisan developer focused on privacy, sharing code, how does that contrast with, say, big corporate software development, which is often about massive scale and, let's be honest, data collection.
That's a great question. What unique value does that individual, maybe more principled approach bring to the whole tech landscape?
Yeah.
Something to think about.